Hey guys, and welcome to another Factorio Workshop. As always, I am joined by Mad Zuri,
Greetings.
and oh, there you are. You blend in. um,
Yep.
so today, what we're doing, this is not a submitted build. This is something we've come up with for demonstration purposes to try to demonstrate inherent balance and splitting off, and to show that there's many cases where you actually do not need belt balancers, where a lot of people build them anyways. So I'm gonna kind of let Zuri run through most of this, but I mean, I will fill in gaps and kind of pitch in here too. So we'll just start back here with our kind of imitated train loader or unloader rather, we've created.
Yeah, I've wired these together with my standard everything equals 0, enable, disable, read hand, contents, and hold
Mm-hmm.
to always load both sides of the belt evenly. And since fast inserters can't quite fill a belt, you just put two of them together. And this will give you one full blue belt per wagon that you're unloading.
Yeah.
And then you come in here, and this splitter right here actually also acts as a lane balancer if for some reason half the line's not working or clogged.
Right. Exactly.
And another inherent balance is we have the same number of smelters on both sides, and we have our cheaty compression with the underground belts. So we're guaranteed a fully balanced, fully compressed output belt. And that's something that you'll find will prevent the need for balancing a lot. If you can pull from both sides of the belt and output onto one belt at max compression, you'll never need a balancer.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Because, like, usually, well, not usually, but a lot of times I do see after smelters, or at the very beginning of a bus, people will put a balancer in, even if they have a compressed line, just because they think they need a balancer. But as Zuri just said, if you have a fully compressed belt like this with the same furnaces on each side that are evenly fed, which we showed at the beginning, you don't need a balancer anywhere in here, because this is just already balanced always.
Yeah, you can't put more than a belt on. This is max. This is it. That's all you can get.
Yeah.
So putting a balancer after this would do literally nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So here we use some of the same tactics. We pull from both sides of the belt, and we output onto both sides of the belt in the middle, and we get a fully compressed output stream. And
Yep.
yes, this is calculated out to be exactly one full blue belt of green circuits.
Yeah, exactly. Another example of inherent balance, just like the smelter. And then also you had a good example here with this copper, that this splitter acts as a lane balancer as well. We've Zuri purposely cut off one lane of this because this only actually needs 1.5 belts. So even with one lane cut off, with this coming in technically unbalanced, it balances itself out, and these all work perfectly because inserters can grab from both sides, so they're still able to work completely fine, even though the belt looks and technically is unbalanced, just because it doesn't have both lanes. But that doesn't mean it's going to stop this from working.
Yeah, as long as you have 1.5 belts coming in, and you've got a splitter, so that both sets of assembly machines have the same amount, it'll still work fine and output, the fully compressed, balanced output.
Yep. So then this is
And
where,
here,
yeah,
yeah, this is the as unbalanced as possible output that I did. Let's say you're doing a ton of red circuits down here off of this one belt.
mm-hmm,
And as you can see, this pulls very heavily from one side of the belt. Until you get down here where it seems like you don't have hardly any at all. But you still get the fully compressed output belt. Even though it looks pretty horrible, it works just fine.
yeah. So this is a very good example, that you came up with, Zuri, because in here, like, well, I think actually here is a really good example, because people see this and they see one lane fully compressed and another lane uncompressed, and their instinct is to put in a belt balancer or multiples, and then maybe again down here, but you don't need to. I mean, it's a visual demonstration. Can't get too much more clear here. All these are working, and they're all perfectly balanced, even at the end when it looks like you hardly have any coming through. Now, this is yellow belt, but again, like red belt is twice as fast as yellow belt, so we would get the same result, I'd imagine, if we just did half of this, but did red belt. If you have like 3 red belted red circuit designs or whatever, same concept applies.
Yeah, it should work fine for, I think, 3 red belts or 2 blue belts. This will still get 100% compression on the output belts.
Mm-hmm. Now, you did show me, and we could show here a good example of when you have problems is when you overpull. You had put a thing on the end here or something that overpulled off the end. There you go.
Yeah, so I put an overpull here, and it shows you that the very last one got down to 50%. And then you'll see if you keep pulling past this, the next one will be 25 or 1/4, 1/8, 1/16, and etc. So what I suggest is you keep pulling off of one belt until it's maxed out, and then pull from another belt. You can always add more belts to your smelter and your circuit design. Like, I'm really fond of using 1-to-1 belt for green circuits, and then if I need another belt of circuits, I'll build another one of these. Just the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good point. And this is something that's like really important to stress. So I'm just going to repeat it again. If you do need another belt, right? If this is maxed and you need another belt, it's highly suggested to do what Zuri just said and build another smelter and another one of these. What a lot of people I'll see do, and I'm guilty of it sometimes myself because I forget or don't care, is splitting off like this iron line, right? And feeding it into another circuit line, or it's splitting it off somewhere else as well, and then you just get unbalanced things. If you build another inherently balanced smelter, another balanced circuit thing, you will have this perfect balance again. So just make sure that you build like a whole new one of each unit of the process that's required, rather than just splitting off one trying to feed multiples that it can't actually feed properly.
Yeah, and remember, this was one wagon. Essentially, you're pulling off of one wagon. So, bigger trains means you can have more lines coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's actually pretty easy to balance trains coming into a set of stations. I think we've demonstrated that before. If not, we can do so.
Yeah, yeah. So let us know if you want to see that or not. But I think this is just this is a really good example Zuri came up with, just to show what we said. Inherent balance, you will almost never need belt balancers if you have inherent balance like this through the entire process chain.
And I'll be honest, this makes things a lot simpler too.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, this is just so much more simpler than adding in tons of balancers in between and doing all this crazy stuff. Now, of course, there's going to be people who disagree in regards to, because I know some people do belt balancers literally just for OCD visual reasons, just because they don't like how an unbalanced belt looks. And if that's your thing, then go for it. I mean, but if you want to, if you're more into efficiency, then this is kind of what we're trying to demonstrate here.
Yeah, I can understand aesthetics for the sake of aesthetics, but you're gonna have a hard time convincing me that all those balancers make your factory more efficient.
Exactly. And I think that's probably it. We've covered what we want to cover. Unless you have any last points to go over here, Zuri, I think we'll call it.
Oh, that's it.
Alrighty, awesome. I hope this was a good example, and we'd love to hear any feedback you have down in the comments as well as submissions, as always. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we will catch you later.
Later.